For real.
Straight lace, no chase.
Yeah. Rally boys.
Boy.
Southside niggas.
Gorillas. What?
Been in this game so motherfucking long, my nigga, you know what I'm saying? Can't do nothing but keeping shit real, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody ever gave us a motherfucking thing, you know what I'm saying?
You heard me word down all by my screen, man, all day, every day. Boy.
From a sack to a bird, from a dope house trap when I started from a curb. Niggas didn't wanna see us, now it seems like they heard. Bitches didn't wanna speak, now they tweet for the dick. Niggas showing us love when they used to talk shit, but I forgive and steady live, cause y'all can't take nothing here. We all in since the day I begin. It's in my blood, spirit of a thug, nigga tattooed on my skin. Life in the fast lane, hustling for more change, either from this music or this non-stopping dope game.
From crawling to ballin', Mr. Lomax shot calling on the cellular, telling her to get her ass on schedule. Make it this way with my dash and they dash. Don't forget my yak and hay sacks, cause we go way back like 8 tracks, pushing funk out of downtown. Now everybody southbound, coming down with your mouths wide now. CP got your body. Now the whole South is riding, but I got the whole studio clouded.
You got to crawl before you ball, ball till you fall. Play up, we gon' do it all in this game. That's right, cause that's the way shit goes. Ain't no time for thinking slow. You got to crawl before you ball, ball till you fall. Play up, we gon' do it all in this game. That's right, cause that's the way shit goes. Ain't no time for thinking slow.
I'm dodging killers and feds, jacking Jamaicans with dreads. My calicoes wasn't back for getting put in the red. I took a look at the game before I stepped on the field. I observed rich niggas that ran with G's that kill. Playboy, keep it real, have some dreams to make meals. Rolling Billy Continental, living houses on hills. Cause asking me for a front, so you can flout them hoes. It's either pay me back my cheese or get a bloody ass nose. See, that's how the game goes, ain't no friends or no foes. For them birdies that don't trap niggas be putting kick those. Just talking about taking mine, I'm leaving chills in your spine. Cause like Malcolm, I got the AK, take your peeps out the blind. If you think that I'm lying, I bet your mama be crying. Trying to come up too quick, that's why your ass has been dying. I've been down for 10, I made G's and stacks. Trying to ball before you crawl, boy, you never do that.
You gotta crawl before you ball. When you do, ball till you fall. Play up, we gon' do it all in this game. That's right, cause that's the way shit goes. Come on. Ain't no time for thinking slow. You gotta crawl before you ball. When you do, ball till you fall. Play up, we gon' do it all in this game. That's right, cause that's the way shit goes. Ain't no time for thinking slow.
I got to keep my mind right because there are times like these. I got to bother weed, blow some four hoes and enemies, cause chunchos be dropping like rain. You can't be stopping game around here with all that popping it, man. We chopping game, nigga, like Leatherface. Fool, I couldn't thought up a better place to put it down from. Players be drowned up, it proves the right, you lose your life. When you start that jacket, why shooting that the fools be like, that nigga that packing.
Give me life and luxury, nothing but the best. If I can't ball, Mr. Officer, then let a nigga rest. For the love of money, niggas will do hella wrong, especially when they think you got your major cash on. I got my game from an old school knucklehead. Put me down with a hard ounce, 38 holding lead. Be about your bread, listen to what that old man said. From the game that he spit, that's probably why I ain't dead. Too much game on my head, fuck them cops, fuck them feds. Niggas heard what I said, roll like the mob and do our job and keep the shit cracking. Real niggas make it happen.
just like that, we back. Look, I ain't gonna be here all day. I'm not gonna lie, man. You know, I got up this morning, ran some errands. This is part of the errands I gotta run. I'm supposed to do this live Thursday, but it's just few good words of good ghetto gospel, man. Shout out to everybody out there on every side, man. Shout out to everybody on Facebook, Twitter, whatever the fuck else is shit streaming. I don't have no visuals today. Usually I have visuals and slideshows and all type of cool fly shit. But for the time being, I just want to be able to get this word out. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I have nothing but pure ghetto gospel. You know what I'm saying? And for today, we're gonna talk about surviving versus living. You know what I'm saying? I was having a conversation. Ready? Let me turn this shit down a tad bit more. I was having a conversation with one of my good childhood friends, and shout out to Dre, man. Real day one. Not internet day one. I'm talking about sandbox type shit. Real South Dallas shit, man. And while we were having the conversation, I had talked to him in a minute, and he just called me out the blue, and I missed the call, and I hit him right back. You know what I'm saying? We had damn near about an hour or something conversation. And the most important part I took out that conversation was us remembering, talking about, you know, we catching up and talking about the family and the kids and shit that we doing now and shit that we done been through. In the midst of shit that we talked about that we've been through, we talked about surviving versus living. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's something that goes, surviving versus living gets overlooked a lot. You know what I'm saying? I be hearing all these podcasts saying all this extra shit that don't really matter. I'm not here to give you what don't matter. I'm just here to give you what really matters. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully it matters to you too. So surviving versus living is one of the things that we take for granted. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you grew up in a rough side of town, whether it be you grew up in the country or you grew up in the inner city. You know what I'm talking about? For people who grew up anywhere where you behind the poverty line, is rough. And there comes a point in time that it's a transition that has to happen. And that transition is you coming from surviving to living. Now, for some people, this might not be a big deal, or they might not understand what I'm. Luckily for you, I'm here. I'm gonna walk you down through there. It's ain't gonna be no long 2 hour, whatever. But I think that there is a difference between breathing and being alive, right? So for many of us, raised in these ghettos, raised in these areas where it's poverty stricken, where you 5 to 8 to 10 below the poverty line, you know what I'm saying? Whether you're in the bricks or the projects or the back streets, we weren't taught how to live. We were taught how to survive. And make no mistake, survival is very much a skill. It is a necessary skill. But the flip side of that, it's a double-edged sword, in my opinion. But the double-edged sword of surviving is, beyond it being a skill, is also a trauma response. So let's walk down through that. From an early age, right? The ghetto grooms you to expect the bare minimum. And you learn how to anticipate threats, read people's energy like your life depends on it, because it often does, and adapt to pain so regularly that you start calling it normal. And you celebrate making it to 25 like you won a fucking championship, not because life is sweet, but because it hasn't ended yet. For a lot of us grew up in these areas, we wasn't supposed to make it past 25. You know, June 19th was my birthday. I turned 35 years old. I got up in the morning. I cried for about a good 2 minutes. I ain't gonna lie. I was just proud to be alive, man. Because once you go through life, you're gonna lose a whole lot. And I don't know to whoever's listening to this or whoever's gonna listen to this. Unfortunately, a part of life is being disturbed by loss and grief. You know what I'm saying? You gotta fight through that. It's tough. You feel me? But survival is reactive. And living is more intentional. You feel me? So to survive is to hustle through a storm without an umbrella. It's to live, you know, to live is to find shelter, build a roof, and plant a garden and cultivate that, till the soil. You know what I'm saying? You know, live, you have to want to live, have a purpose for living. You feel me? But how can you do all this grand scheme, you know, grandiose dreaming if if all you know is struggle? So beyond the ways that I could go about this, and this definitely deserves a part two, and I give it a part two, probably be next week. Is I'll get more detailed about how you know, the systems and all this shit, you know, just just how it's designed to be that way. Especially where I grew up at. I grew up in South Dallas, and South Dallas is historically 5 to 8 to 10% below the poverty line. It experienced white flight during the 1950s. You know what I'm talking about, and everything they tried to move up out of there. Shit, if they could pick the Cotton Bowl and the State Fair, if they could actually pick up the Cotton Bowl, the stadium, and move that shit somewhere else, they would. You know what I'm saying? The Cowboys moved out of South Dallas in 1970. They started playing in the Cotton Bowl in 1960. So 50s, 60s, 70s, you know, it experienced a great deal of moving around and going, you know, going all through there. It's just historical. You know what I'm saying? The struggle in that part of town. You know what I'm saying? Although it's bred great people, you know, your Erica Badu's, your Big Tucks, your David Fathead Newman, Othello Becks, uh, uh, Dwayne Thomas's, shit, and so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? I think if I was to ask each one of those individuals that grew up there that the difference between surviving and living, they will have a detailed, you know, experience. Because everybody has to, you know, so you take that experience from you know, in the place where I grew up at, and you add that to thousands of other ghettos across America. You know what I'm saying? And the psychological trap is this: the ghetto isn't just a location, you know, um, it's a mentality. And unfortunately, it teaches us to think small, to fear aspirations, um, to laugh at hope like it's a scam, you know. So you grow up around people who gave up on themselves and they want you to do the same sometimes, you know, not out of hatred, but because out of hurt. In the ghettos, it's a generational hurt. It's a institutional hurt. It's a systemic hurt, and living becomes a luxury. You know what I'm saying? The audacity that you have to live. You have to have audacity to live. Like there's so many people that live without borders that stay in that same spot because they're scared of what's outside the borders. I know people who ain't never left the state, who ain't never really left the city limits, who really just, you know what I'm saying? And it's fucked up because it's like it's free. Now you can just drive in one direction and keep going to the road end. You know what I'm saying? Like it's literally that free. You feel me? But living becomes a luxury. Joy feels suspicious at times. Like feeling good feels suspicious. Like we grow up feeling guilty for just feeling good. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I feel good today. Must be something. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, no, like you deserve it to feel like it's your God given right. You know what I'm saying? To feel good, to have a good, you know what I'm saying? To enjoy your life, you know, but due to some unfortunate circumstances, sometimes, you know, life, you know, you can have a life, or like, you know, George Clinton said, she can either have a life or life can have you. You understand what I'm saying? And you start to believe that struggle is a birthright. Anything soft or slow or safe is weakness. And peace feels fake. You feel what I'm saying? The first thing that comes in my mind, right, when I was young, one of the greatest things that ever happened to me was my big brother Sean going to the University of Michigan, going up there to visit him in college, going on that road trip all the way up 75 from Dallas to Ann Arbor and on back. It brightened my world up. You know what I'm saying? And that was a rare experience that I know a lot of people didn't have. You know what I'm saying? Like that brought my world up to know, okay, it's a lot more here than just, you know what I'm saying? And fortunately for me, throughout my family, I have people who, did some great shit. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in my family did some great shit. And one of the one of the struggles that I have is trying to be just as great as them. You know what I'm saying? Not wanting to drop that ball and being able to pass that out to the young generation. You know what I'm saying? Last time I talked about trying to receive that torch that your elders passed to you. You understand what I'm saying? And not only receive that torch, but to keep that flame lit, and pass it on to the younger generation to keep that, you know what I'm saying, to keep it going. But that struggle is a cycle that we all have to break if you're growing up in these areas where it's poverty stricken, it's bad shit. I can tell you all type of stories about walking the Pearl Sea, walking the JJ Road, walking the Lincoln, walking around South Dallas, and you're gonna see a needle. You're gonna see some needles on the goddamn concrete. You're gonna see some dirty condoms on the concrete. You're gonna see drug paraphernalia on the concrete, and that shit that kids really shouldn't be seeing, but it's just the reality of that's what we grew up around. I don't seen a dead body before. I don't seen people get shot before. I don't seen people get brutally beat up before. I don't seen shootouts before. Like I've just experienced a bunch of shit that I didn't realize was traumatic to me until I left. You know what I'm saying? I live in the corner of Pine and Electra. Pine is probably one of the most busiest streets in South Dallas. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of shit happened right there. I remember shootouts, you having to roll over, hit the goddamn floor. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all can relate to this shit too. You know what I'm saying? It's just whatever. So the ambiance of that, the psychological toll that takes on us growing up in these areas and being afraid to live, the emotional toll, to numb yourself to feel strong, to suppress your dreams to look tough, you are overworked and underhealed. You laugh to stop from crying. You isolate to avoid betrayal. You know, it's somewhat of an emotional prison. And some people that die inside that prison, even if they never touch a cell. You don't have to be physically locked up to be in a prison. You can be in a prison off in your mind. You understand what I'm saying? So being able to break free from that, escaping the trap isn't just about leaving the hood, that psychological trap, that emotional trap. It's not about just leaving the hood. It's about reprogramming your mindset. You understand what I'm saying? That's the real change. It means that you're going to have to unlearn the belief that love is weakness. It means challenging the voices that told you weren't enough. It means believing in your right to rest, your right to, what I'm saying, to enjoy, to live, to not have the anxiety of, that growing up in the ghetto that it puts on you, and it's not easy. You feel me? So, and it's not easy because when you start to break free, that guilt creeps in, that survivor's guilt creeps in, and that haunting question is like, damn, why me and not them? Or even worse, do I deserve better? And the question, and the answer is you do, and we all do, because living is your birthright, but survival is just the starting point. And I think there's a missing link between people surviving and living. Surviving and living. Right? Excuse me. There is a missing link right in between surviving and living that a lot of us don't get taught. A lot of us learn that the hard way. Surviving versus living. You're in that conversation. Me and my partner Dre, man. We talked about, we catching up, and it dawned on me like, damn, bro, like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a difficult person You know what I'm saying? But it just let me know like niggas just wanna live, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever you have right now, please be grateful for it. Because it's not promised. Whatever you have, whatever place you stay at, whatever vehicle you got outside, whatever money got in your pocket, whatever you're able to afford, just be grateful for that. You know what I'm saying? It's not everybody, you know, breaks that psychological trap of being from the ghetto. Like I talked about how I told my kids, you know, not took my kids to where I grew up at, South Dallas. I showed them everything. Like we literally got out, walked around. Like we ain't gonna be driving around. We get out. Cause I wanted them to feel the ambiance. You know, we got out. We walked. Went to Lego Park. Chilled. We kicked it. Took my kids to the spray park. You know what I'm saying? You know, I always ground myself when I go back home. You know what I'm saying? It's time to go back now. Time for another recharge. I feel it in my motherfucking spirit. But I took them around. I let them feel the ambiance. You feel what I'm saying? And I watched them, you know, how they react because, you know, they just don't know. I told them a story about how when the water used to get cut off. You know what I'm talking about? My mom and my dad, we used to have a water key. You know, anybody know what a water key is? You know what I'm talking about. It was a sewer on the outside of the house, right by the street sign of Pine Electric. It's a sewer right there. We used to take that water key, pop that top open. I don't know how they got the water key. You know what I'm saying? You got to know somebody, to get a water key. You feel what I'm saying? You got to know somebody to get a water key. You feel me? Pop that sewer, twist that bitch, put the bitch in, twist that bitch. You know what I'm talking about? Take that bitch off, flip it to the other side. You know, reach down in there. It's a little lever. Cut that water back on. You know what I'm saying? Wash your ass. You know what I'm saying? Boil some water. You know what I'm saying? Cook whatever you're gonna do. Go outside before night and cut the water off. You know what I'm saying? So little shit like that, it makes you realize how those are just it's a skill set that you have to have. You know what I'm saying? Like my kids don't know nothing about going up having no water key. How do you get a water key? That was my question. I know how they got it now, but I ain't gonna write them out. But just the fact that we having a water key, get out there, pop the sewer open, Bluetooth, reach down in there, flip that in, cut that water back on, get in the house, wash your ass, use the, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Survival skills, you know what I'm saying? And during that conversation, it helped me out a lot that day because it was totally random. I'm gonna say it was random Saturday morning, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just thankful that, you know what I'm saying, whatever reason he called me because that's somebody that I genuinely got love for, you know what I'm talking about? And that's something that can't be duplicated. So when we get on here in these internet circles, it's a lot of shit I don't understand. It's a lot of shit I don't want to understand. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of people doing the most and craving attention. Somewhere they lack that attention and they didn't get it. That's why they do the things that they do on the internet because it gets them attention. You understand what I'm saying? That's a new, extended, more nuanced part of the psychological trap. Because, like I said before, it ain't necessarily where you stand and where you from. That shit is in your mind. And when you watch the internet and watch certain communities on the internet and certain people, when you watch your people, because I like studying people, you can see that the effects of that psychological trap, wanting to be in the, you know what I'm saying? And it's fucked up and it damages you. You know what I'm saying? So when you don't break that trap, it's gonna fuck you over every time. If nobody ever showed you the bigger picture, then you'll just, you know what I'm saying? It's only so far. Like it's like you going through a door. Once you go through that door, it's another door you gotta go through. Once you go through that door, it's another door you gotta go through. So throughout life, you will never know everything. And that's the beauty of it. You know what I'm saying? It's the luxury of living, is the fact once you understand that you'll never stop learning. My pops is 81 years old. I always say that shit because I be having to tell niggas where I be trying to give them not all the way, but kind of give them a scope of where my mindset is. It's not like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And I've always been that way. And I used to think that I was weird, that it was strange, and people don't really understand me, and that's fine. I have to learn how to be okay with that because you don't understand what I've been through and what I'm going through and where I got to go. I got somewhere the motherfucker can be. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not on that same track with me of going where the fuck we gotta go, wherever you like, you don't serve no purpose. You know what I'm saying? You don't serve no purpose because what's the fucking point of wasting time? Time is very important. Time is the most important currency. Is even more of an important currency than money. You know, when you fuck up, when you do a crime, they punish you with time. They punish you with time. You losing time from the free world. Time is peculiar, but it's necessary and it's important and it's a good study to look at it. You know what I'm saying? Because every minute, every second you spend, you can never get that back. So every day when I get up, when I think about what I'm gonna, go live about or what I do, I think about time. You know what I'm saying? And even when I do this, right, I don't want to sit here and waste people's time. You know, I can chill by myself. Sometimes I want to spend my time around other people. Majority of the time, I don't. But time is precious. You feel what I'm saying? But if you don't see the bigger picture, then it's hmm, it's difficult. I put it like that, without trying to go off on a tangent. But the bigger picture is this, right? To truly break free, we need more than just motivation. We need the access. In these neighborhoods, we don't have the access to mental health support. I can remember, um, and it's crazy because I always ask my kids, as young kids, this as well. Outside of that kindergarten, pre-K kindergarten, first grade, where they ask you, "How are you feeling today?" and you point to the happy face or the smiling face or the straight face. Beyond that, there is no mental health care, like not until right now in this era. But we used to not teach each other about mental health. We used to just say, "Oh, nigga, get over that shit." You know what I'm saying? We used to just do some of the most inhumane shit to get over emotions when you growing up in these ghettos, and they fucks you over when you get out of that ghetto, go around the world, and you actually see people living. Like me and my partner Dre had a conversation, and it was grand. And we talked about how the first time you seen people living, the first time you left and you see niggas was living, like you seen like you went to the other night, like you know what I'm saying? Like goddamn, they got a big ass house. Goddamn, they over here just, you know what I'm saying? And I can even remember when during my stint as an educator, watching these kids, you know what I'm saying, looking at them, talking to them and shit. And in my mind thinking like, oh, you never had the struggle. And it's a beautiful thing, but it's like it fucks you over a little bit. It's like, damn, like it's like it's I can't quite put a finger on what that feeling is, but they never had to go out and pop the water, pop the sewer and cut the water back on and everybody do what you got. They never had to, when you had no hot water, they boil the water on the stove, pour it in the tub, you know what I'm saying? You know, they never had those type of issues. So it just makes you feel like damn, like it's life, live it. And then you realize that when you come to the crux of it, you go to the intersection of living versus surviving. I got something in the chat right now. See. Already. So NOF. So you never you're never done learning. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's that shit kind of got my mind going. Like I said, I haven't totally wrapped around all this shit. It's gonna be probably a part 2 and part 3. I know I rarely stream over here on the main Trill Pill page, but today I did. You know what I'm saying? Just because every once in a while I will, just to show niggas what I need y'all to come over here to Trill Pill Digital because it got some dope shit over here that I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? And we moving forward. You know what I'm saying? So living to me means everything. You know what I'm saying? You go through those moments where you know, this social media age somewhat makes you compare yourself to others if you're not careful. If you're a person with a weak mind, you're going to be sitting, you're going to be trapped in that digital space as well. And that's why I always talk about the algorithms and all this shit and content because that's the world that we living in. And I'm sitting here in the middle of this shit, watching my kids grow up, watching just how shit is changing. You know, I'm 35 years old. How this shit change? You know what I'm saying? What happened in between? So I try my best to try to go in between these little spaces and cracks and try to figure out what the fuck is going on. You know what I'm saying? And how that feels and how that relates to what I'm doing. But the surviving versus living has just evolved. Now it's digital. Now you gonna go and see it's a nigga with motherfucking mansions and shit like that. You gonna think to yourself like, damn, I ain't really done shit. But you have. You know what I'm saying? Like you have what you have. So that's the fucked up part about the internet. Our fitness shit is it adds an extra layer of fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Now you comparing yourself to a nigga, you don't even know who the fuck he is. At this point, you don't even know if he's a real person. But you comparing yourself, not realizing like you need to be grateful for what you've done, what you're going to do, and what you already have. You feel me? That's the most important thing. But that's that whole psychological trap between surviving and living. But that bigger picture, like I was talking about earlier, that bigger picture in these neighborhoods is we need mental health support. We need financial literacy. We need safe spaces. We need healing centered education. And most importantly, the proper representation. You know, we need to see the people who made it out from the neighborhoods that we grew up in, not just to flex, but to reach back and light the way for others. You feel what I'm saying? When I first created this shit, I felt like I was doing something. I felt like it was for myself. I was just doing this shit to get out of whatever I was going through. You know what I'm saying? Missing my mama, missing my grandmother, going through a divorce, trying to figure this shit out, in the middle of going through a divorce, and all that shit through the middle of COVID. I was fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I was fucked up. I shouldn't have been on the internet at that time, but I was fucked up and I was just going, trying to find ways to figure out, trying to sift through my emotions to figure out how the fuck I'm gonna go forward, doing all this shit. And in the midst of that, one of my good partners hit me up. He's a truck driver. And I started sharing my links out and shit. He was like, bro, I fuck with you. I remember it was a week where I didn't drop nothing. He was like, bro, what you doing? You ain't doing the podcast? He was like, I'm on your Spotify. I'm looking for your shit. I said, no, I ain't really feeling it. He was like, well, what are you doing? He really just told me, like, nigga, what you doing? Like, what you mean you're not feeling? Like, what you mean? Like, nigga, this shit is what is needed. You know what I'm saying? It's that point when you start creating content in this space where you feel like, damn, I'm not doing what I thought I would be doing. I'm not getting the reciprocity that I thought I'll be. You know, he basically just told me, nigga, fuck that shit. You know what I'm talking about? Fuck that shit, keep going, nigga. And now we standing here right motherfucking now. You know what I'm saying? Still doing the goddamn work, putting this good ghetto gospel out. But it's times like that with people like that you realize that, damn, man, it's like niggas really need shit like this to survive. You know? So we need to see people who made it out, not just to flex, but to reach right back and, like that way for others. And we need to tell new stories, not just about pain and poverty. Don't get me wrong. We all go through pain, and a lot of us went through poverty. But beyond that, it needs to be an extra layer attached to that about possibility. And the possibility is that's more about what happens after survival, about the joy, the therapy, the growth, the softness, and the revolutionary for people. Um, those things are revolutionary for people who are raised in chaos. You know, I didn't have the hardest life. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have the easiest either, but I'm thankful for the life that I did have. I'm thankful for where I'm at and where I'm going in the future. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, side note, I do this shit. I try to do it through the lens of hip hop. You know, through our culture that we you know that we cultivated and that we taken care of, and that we, for some of us, work so hard to maintain. People leech off our culture. The only thing they want from the ghetto is talent. They it don't matter what industry you look at. It can be sports, it can be entertainment, especially sports and entertainment. They don't want the experience, but they want the talent. And the reason why the talent is so rich in these areas, because you got to learn how to make something from nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, the greatest inventions were birthed out of the ghetto. You feel what I'm saying? Some of the greatest shit on planet Earth was birthed out of the ghetto. It don't matter what it was, culinary, ghetto engineering, all type of shit was birthed out of these ghettos. You know, out of survival. A lot of us, shit, it's tough to even think about trying to live. Shit, we so focused on trying to survive, and now it's crazy because up until 2020 and beyond, now a lot more of us are trying to survive. A lot of us that have been surviving our whole life, this shit wasn't nothing. Oh, okay, some bullshit happened. Okay, we just gotta learn how to adjust. You like you learn how to shape shift and be a comedian. You know what I'm saying? This money train stops. Shit, I'm gonna do go get another money train. I'm gonna go figure out this shit. Let me go do this shit. Let me go do this and sell this. Let me go flip this. Let me go spend $3,000 here to see if I can get this back and go. You know what I'm saying? Like, you learning how to survive those skills, but do you know how to live though? You know, I'm still learning how to live. 35 years old. I'm still learning how to not be guilty for taking care of myself, not be guilty for because I want to have a good time and go spend this. You know what I'm talking about? I'm still learning how to not feel guilty. Still learning how to not feel guilty for some of that shit. Simple shit. You know what I'm saying? Damn, I want to head to, you know, I'm heading to the goddamn, yeah, I just bought me a pair of, couple pair of shoes. Damn, why do I feel guilty why do I feel guilty about it? Nigga, you work hard for. Like, what is that? That feeling of, I'm doing this shit and I feel, you know what I'm saying? It's that shit that has to wear off. That we have to continue to knock that shit off, wear that shit off. That's special. It's concerning, but that's something that that's just how I look at it through that lens of, damn, what is that feeling of me feeling like I'm not supposed to have this? A few years ago when I walked in the dealership and got the car that I wanted, not the one that I could afford, that I wanted. The one that I wanted. You know, I don't be wanting a lot of shit. I ain't no materialistic nigga. I don't be wanting a lot of that lavish shit. I just want what I want. You know what I'm saying? Walking in, you're like, oh yeah, you know, what, whatever. Okay, get the over here. I said, how much is that? Was that over there? Like, you know how anybody back to walk into, dealership or something, you know how that feels. They be like, oh, you can't. What nigga? Cashier's check. Give me 5 minutes. I'll be back. Hold that thought, player. Let me get that bitch. Drive off in that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's that? I sat in that bitch for damn near 30 minutes just. But why should I feel guilty if I work hard for it? You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. But the bigger picture of not just telling the pain and poverty part, but talking about the possibilities, the joy. That's why one of my favorite artists is Zero, because the I'm about to hit my Keith Murray, the most beautifulest shit in this world. But no, fuck it, I use his word, the most beautifulest shit. Shout out to Keith Murray in this world, being able to see people grow, to watch yourself grow. If you love music, I love music. My favorite artist, one of them is Zero, and all through his catalog, very, very early, it was very dark, very painful. He was one of the first ones who really mastered being able to fully express yourself through music. He talked about depression and suicidal tendencies and going to, needing, like he talked about that, like Scarface and them talked about that. A-Ball and MJG talked about that. UGK talked about, like, those are artists in that era. They were very expressive, but that's when, in my opinion, music was the most pure. One of my favorite songs is albums, really, by 8 Ball, Lost. I think it's the first one. MJG, No More Glory. Classic. First track on that bitch is Keep Your Mind. You feel what I'm saying? So the music healed me. That music healed me. You know what I'm saying? But let me get back on Zero is the fact that all throughout his work, he was able to grow. So what started out dark and painful, and I'm sad and I'm hurt. Everybody did me wrong. Anybody, what I'm saying, whatever, just whatever. Now, when you hear him in his albums, talking about how I'm living good. I done did this good for myself. I done worked this hard. I'm not putting myself around nobody who hate me, nothing like that. But I worked so hard to get what I got. You know what I'm saying? I used to feel sad in the bitch, but now, you know what I'm saying? I'm living good. My kids is good. Everything's straight like that. Just to see that growth is rare in an artist because they want to keep you in that psychological trap. That's why I say this shit is more than just the area. It's a mindset. I'll save more of that for part 2 and 3. So I gotta really structure that and see how I'm gonna do that. But that's part of the trap. They don't want you if you're getting on here and you're talking about how good you feel, therapy, growth, minding your business, taking care of yourself, your mental health, your physical health, your spiritual health, although those things are revolutionary for a human being that grew up in those similar circumstances to hear, they don't want to hear that shit. I can't even say that and take that back. Ain't that they don't want to hear that shit, but they don't know how to receive that shit. It's different. That's why I love doing what I do, because I could easily be doing some wild shit on here, get popping, get followers, and get all that shit. But me personally, like, I wouldn't feel right in my conscience. Like, I'm very locked in with my spirit, or whatever you want to call that shit, your conscious, or my soul. You know what I'm talking about? I got people who really watch me. My family watches me. I have a standard to uphold. That's one of the greatest things I have in my family, is there is a standard. If they see me doing some bullshit, boy, I'm gonna get fined. What the fuck is you doing? And not only that, way beyond that, I got kids and they watch me and they know what I do. Now they know that their daddy is crazy. They know that sometimes daddy crazy, blame it on his Gemini, that nigga, whatever. But that's how I feel. One of these days, I'm gonna ask my kids, what they feel about Pops? You know, so what's going on? But I know that they like this nigga. This nigga's a strange fruit. But it's different. It's just different when you directly connected. Like, my oldest is about to be 16 next month. I got one behind her that's just turned 11, and one behind him that just turned 8, that turned 9 this year. So not only do I have to uphold that standard, but now that my kids are able to recognize what's going on with me, they look at me, they check me out. Like, I can't embarrass them. I don't want to go to sleep with my name fucked up. Nowhere. You know what I'm saying? That's why some niggas say, "Oh, he's sensitive and all that." Look, let me tell you something. You do. Krishnamurti said to be sensitive is to be alive. I'm aware of everything. I catch on to everything. Sometimes too much. You know what I'm saying? Being aware is a gift and a curse. You're not gonna get nothing over like on me. You have to really work hard. Like even if I don't acknowledge it at the moment, I might sit back and oh okay. You know what I'm saying? Because I always analyze it. Anything I'm attached to, I analyze it every motherfucking day. That's how my brain works. I wish I could pop my brain open and show it to y'all. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. But blame it on my Gemini. But look, but I catch on to everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm aware. I'm alive. People have numbed themselves to the fact they don't even recognize, they don't even feel no more. That is insane. That is insane to me. So yeah, if you say something slick, I'm gonna get you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get you. One way or another. You know, guys still working on me. But I will get you. I'm not gonna let you go. You're gonna have to feel my pain. You feel what I'm saying? You're gonna have to feel that. And a part of it is because it's how I was raised. I wasn't raised in the area I was raised in. You can't let shit slide. In an area like South Dallas, nobody really has a whole lot of money. So all you have is your respect. All you have is your name. All you have is your last name. All you have is your lineage. All you have is your bloodline. All you have is your respect. And I've carried that with me my whole life. So I'm not gonna let that shit slide just because we're on the internet with some idiots. Cause I know I don't seen some of you niggas. You know, all that extra shit. It sound cool. It sound nice. It sounds aggressive and explosive. Mad. You know what I'm saying? But it's a difference when you gotta, flesh to flesh. It's a difference. It's a difference. It's a fucking difference. You know, surviving versus living. Now that I'm on, I just crept into the living stage of my life. Now I'm able to see, okay, I don't take it personal no more. They still learning how to survive. You know what I'm saying? Like they still learning how to survive. And they think in order to survive, you got to step on somebody else to trampoline yourself up. And you don't. You don't. You fucking don't. And that's the biggest misconception with our culture and our people is that in order for me to get up here, I gotta step on you. That would have lynch you, I think. That's psychological shit. Crab in the bucket, most call it. It has to be an absolute, absolute. And there only can be one. That mindset fucks us up and keeps us at the bottom of everything, every time. When you see somebody doing something different, you try to step on them. When you see somebody doing some shit that you think, oh, we don't do that shit. Well, but why not? When you're able to articulate and talk and have conversation with different types of people who no matter who they are you doing that white shit? Why? Cause I know how to read, nigga. What? Why is that white shit? Why is it lit? Because it's living. And we don't understand, like, bro, that shit is fucking crazy. You living. You living. I don't know. When niggas don't do that shit. There's some things that niggas don't do. I'll give you that. But a lot of this shit that's just normal, like being able to navigate through life and live good and eat good, and you know what I'm saying? And that's just living. It's not white shit. It's not living. Doesn't have a look to it. It's like crime doesn't have a look to it, or you know what I'm saying? Like it's just something that I don't know. No. So AP, what's going on, baby? living. It's just living. You know what I'm saying? Just being able to live means a lot. You know. So, that's how I think about it. And I think that's it. So, my final thought on surviving versus living, we right at under where I want to be in about an hour because I gotta go cook some food, play some video games, things of that nature. I will be doing streaming on Twitch. See if we get my squabble on CSP 26. THETRILLPILL gaming. We'll do the ass shit later. But my final thought is this, right? Is we were never meant to just to exist and struggle. I'm trying to piece it together. I should have wrote some of this shit down, but we were never meant to just exist and struggle, right? We were born to live. We were born to create. We were born to love, to rest, and to imagine futures and all type of fly shit bigger than our block, our trauma, our past, our problems. But the system, quote unquote, it banks on us forgetting that. All this shit out here right now, I will go out on a limb and say 99% of this shit that's out right now that's put in front of your face means nothing. Everything they put in front of you is a distraction to keep you from trying to obtain any knowledge that's out there. It's so much. You'll never know it all, but before you die, you need to know. You need to, at least get on the journey of knowing. Even the things that you don't really agree with. That's some of the greatest shit. Me and my pops have conversations. That nigga done been on Earth 8 decades. Seen it all. Seen it all. We have conversations. There's some things that I don't agree with as far as, certain shit as far as, just certain with theories and shit. But one of the greatest things he ever taught me was whether you agree with it or not, listen. Listen. Take from what you can take from it. You know what I'm saying? You need to know everything, or try to know everything that you can about whatever you're trying to learn about. Both sides of it. Don't just stick with the side that you agree with. Try to understand the side that you don't agree with and see how they, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just those simple things that in life that has helped me out, going through life. But a lot of this shit, it don't want us to get back to the core of being a human being. It wants us to numb ourselves, distract, get exhausted, so that we stuck in survival mode, so we never tap into our true power. Because the moment that we stop surviving and start living with intention, we become dangerous. Before we become dangerous. Most dangerous thing on this earth, the earth has ever seen, the universe has ever seen, is a nigga with some knowledge. Fuck paper. You can get some paper anywhere, but nigga with some knowledge is dangerous. It's dangerous. You see what they did to, take your pill. See what they did to him. Killed him. Why? Not because they deemed them dangerous. I'm working on some shit where I was watching something now, dig into how the Alphabet Boys was tapping phone calls and investigating artists in 60s and 70s. Not because they just was doing something provocative, but it was dangerous. You out here putting out good music, making niggas feel good. Yeah, we gonna tap you. So the moment that we stop surviving and start living with intention, start creating with intention, we become dangerous, uncontainable, unstoppable. So, um, living, in my opinion, it's not just about escaping poverty or escaping trauma, right? It's about breaking generational curses. It's about healing the parts of ourselves that we were told to hide. It's about choosing joy in a world that told us we didn't deserve joy. We don't deserve to be happy. Like, it's about choosing. Fuck that. We deserve this shit. We earned this shit. Shit. It's a God given right to be happy, to be joyful, to actually live. So if you're listening to this, and a lot of us, especially right now, it's a lot of struggling going on across the world. Across the world. But if you're tired of just getting by, you have to understand this, right? You don't owe the struggle your soul. But one thing you do owe yourself a chance to live. Every day you get up, you have a chance and a choice. And when you finally make that shift, you stop asking, how do I survive this? And start asking, shit, what the fuck does my full life look like? That's when the revolution begins. Not just for you, but for everybody watching you as well. Watching you fight to be free. They're putting chains on free thought. A lot of the biggest thing that I hate about internet is that we share it with idiots. One thing I realized about this shit is that it's more idiots out here than anything else. Some of these idiots dribble a ball. Some of these idiots create music. Some of these idiots just get online and just say shit. Do shit. Some of those idiots create a following of thousands, hundreds of millions of people that collectively means nothing. Shit holds no value. Shit holds no value. That's why I'm able to say what I say. I don't care about, like, a lot of this shit. I have to, whatever. I care about it a little bit, but not really that much, because it's a bigger picture in mind for what this is and what the people who are, who are in this realm. We just want to get out here and kick knowledge and kick flavor. It'll be unfortunate for us. We done learned a lot, and we're able to not only just learn it, but to be able to learn something, flip it, and create content, and then put it out there is a hard thing to do. To watch niggas who don't read, don't listen, have the audacity to have opinions on niggas who do is the craziest work to me. To try to talk some sense into them, these niggas that don't have no common sense. Sometimes you gotta flip a switch. Like Dot says, sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. Every once in a while, you have to do that, unfortunately, because niggas be doing too much. We doing too much. Sometimes you let that shit roll off your shoulders. Some niggas say, "Oh, it's just words." Fuck that. Words have started wars between nations. Words have started wars between nations. So I'm very careful of the words that I use, depending on who I use them with or whoever I'm around. But a gift of mine is being able to be a bridge to people, to be able to be an ear, to be able to be a help, I don't really be asking for shit. I don't, you know what I'm saying? But to be able to help, that's enough for me. You understand what I'm saying? Because there ain't no amount of money in the world that can satisfy that feeling of, okay, you know? And then I don't know. It's tough to explain, but um, it's something that my mother had a gift of, was being able to be a person that people can come to and feel safe around. Especially nowadays where you're on the internet and you come in the fall with people who may appear to be cool, appear to be nice, and sometimes you know get caught slipping, get caught lacking. You know, you get caught lacking, and that person flips you and turns you in to content, uses your real life to make $1 out of it. It's a cold game. It's a cold game. It's a cold game. But them niggas are still learning how to survive. And for some niggas, surviving means they gotta step on you, you know. Now, unfortunately, only thing that you can do is just not be around them. These niggas will tell on you, accuse you, you know what I'm talking about? Goddamn abuse you, you know. Shit. Just for the sake of to make them feel better, so they can make that $1, so they can feed, like, you know, it's a wicked game, you know, it's very wicked. But those of us who like to live, who have um, working hard to do better and get better, and we move far beyond that thought, far beyond that ghetto thought process, and being able to really realize like it's a lot more out here than just this nigga shit. This is for you. There's a lot more out here for us than just wasting time. You really don't have time to waste. Once you break down your age in weeks, you realize two things. You ain't been here that long, and how long do I got? You know, how long do I? Shit, I've been here for these amount of weeks. Like that's that was groundbreaking for me. You know what I'm saying? It's so much to do, so little time. So we don't have time to waste. But in the meantime of that, you do need time to rest. You do need time. You know, you have to give yourself time to live. Give yourself time to create something that's bigger than you. You know, and just do the best that you can for you and people that are behind you. You and people that you are responsible for. You know, leave something out here for the ones that are behind you to look at and say, okay, you know, my mother, she passed away in 2012. She left she was a person, she always wrote in journals and things like that. And I picked it up, right? And she left a journals, chronicling her day when she had cancer, she had breast cancer, and she beat breast cancer, even when she had lung cancer. Just, you know, her thoughts, getting them out, you know. And um one thing I learned from that is I don't know how I would have gotten through some of those things that I went through if she didn't leave that on here. I got a box that's sitting over here with a Black Panther sticker on the front of it. That was her special box. That was her and my dad's box where they kept everything. every once in a while I read those journals to keep me going, and that's how I look at some of the content that I make. So when my kids watch it, they'll be like, okay, daddy went through this. Because I always tell them it's gonna be a point in time where I'm not here. And when I'm not here, all you're gonna have is you three and your cousins, and maybe a few others. But you're not gonna have no huge circle. It's gonna be you, your cousins, and that's it. Even some family ain't family. But between, you know, the ones who actually care, the ones who actually do, those are the most important ones. Not saying you don't love the other ones, but some people don't just deserve to be in that intimate circle. People who call on you and check on you and make sure you're good. You know, not only being the ear to others, but somebody being the ear to you. Being able to have somebody to talk to, being able to have somebody to call is very important in this day and age. That is a part of living. And it's also a part of surviving that you can take from those times. You know, a lot of those things that my mother wrote in that journal is weird because it's like it wasn't meant to be there. Like it was meant to. There's some parts in that journal that were written. It seemed like it was written for what I'm going through now. It was written for what, you know, it's whatever. And so, a few of her last words was to make sure you take care of your brother. Make sure you take care of each other. And then when I talked to him, she said the same thing to him. Make sure you take care of your brother. Make sure you take care of each other. So we back to back in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? And whatever life has for us, we're gonna go out there and get it. And we're gonna go with it. And one thing, going to sleep is a blessing to know that you at least have one person that you know is gonna go to bat for you. That you know that I know without a doubt. Phone call away, 3-4 hours away, wherever away. Don't matter what it is. It's a blessing to have that. And I'm thankful to have that. And that's very crucial when you're trying to live as well. Because now you got somebody to live with and live for. I don't know where I would be without my big brother Sean. I don't know where I would be without my children. I don't know where I would be without mom and dad, granny, giving us those, those kind words, those, whether we wanted to hear that shit or not. Some of the things that our elders speak to us, speak through us, are not meant for that period of time. It's meant for you to remember that when you need to. You know what I'm saying? So that's what all this shit, in my opinion, is really about. I just try to create and analyze this life shit through my lens. And if you feel me, that's what's up. If you don't, ask questions and I'll give you answers. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're here to do. We're here to create, you know what I'm saying? And I just have a keen understanding of a lot of shit, and I'm still trying to understand a lot of shit. And this shit's a blessing, man. Just to be here. This shit's a blessing. But that's about it. I'm 10 minutes over time. God damn it. Surviving versus living. You know what I'm saying? Surviving versus living. Yeah. That's about it. That's about it. That's all I have on that. Now, in the meantime, man, I'm about to get off of here. You know what I'm saying? What's up, one man? What's going on, bro? Bottom of the screen. You follow me any motherfucking where. If you have a phone, if you're watching this on your TV, put your phone up to the TV to the bottom right hand side of the QR code. That QR code gonna take you where you need to go. So I'm gonna bring up all my links, my link tree to all my shit. You know what I'm saying? In about a minute, I'm about to go over here on Twitch. About to play some CFP26. You know what I'm saying? If anybody wants your motherfucking head cracked, come holler at the master. You understand me? I'm about to be doing that. I'm about to cook me some good ass food. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to call this beautiful woman with a voluptuous rump. Voluptuous rump. See what she's up to. See if I can get on the phone, do some freaking talk. See if we can turn it into something. Saturday, it's been raining outside. Niggas been playing case all day. Niggas in love making moves. Anyway, we are about to be out of here, man. Shout out to everybody that showed up. Oh, before I go, gotta run these ads, goddamn. If you are, shut the screen real quick. If you are in the Dallas Fort Worth area and beyond, no matter where you are, we'll fly it out, we'll ship it to you, it don't matter. One-of-one furniture restoration. If you got a chair that ain't fair, if you got a table that ain't stable, don't throw it out, give us a shout. QR code, top left-hand corner. Also, hit that man up right there below. You see the goddamn email, bruceg953@gmail.com. One-of-one furniture restoration. Don't throw it out. Give us a shout. We're able to give you a fly one-of-one piece of furniture, a piece of, not even furniture, a piece of art. Custom made just for you. Don't throw that. One of y'all got a table out there that you had to put a tennis ball at the end of to hold it up. You had to put a little Bible book, whatever, dictionary to hold that table stable. Send it to it. Go ahead. Pick it up, flip it, ship it. You understand what I'm saying? Also, prescription on Substack for those of you who like, maybe the old school type blog type shit. Substack is. I'm gonna be going live on Substack too. They still in the beta process of doing a live stream on Substack, but if you like, reading little think pieces and whatnot, I think with every live that I've done this year, I've attached a think piece to it on Substack. So it's more of a behind the scenes, kind of like an extra, kind of like y'all remember when you got the DVD of Rush Hour, or if you're a freaky motherfucker, you got the DVD, the little booty talk DVD, whatever DVD that you had, goddamn it, it's gonna be a section at the end that's like behind the scenes type shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what Substack is for me. It's more of the behind the scenes on, certain things that I've covered, certain things that I've said, certain thoughts that I have, things of that nature. So if you're an avid reader like me, fuck with me on Substack. QR code right top hand corner. Get to it. The prescription. It's the extra extension right now. And then what else? Oh yeah, Trill Pill Gaming, man. When I'm not kicking this good ghetto gospel, I'm definitely getting in some gaming. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you can hit me up at Trill Pill Gaming. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't scared, if you got a little chump change to put on the line, you know what I'm talking about, money on the wood, come holler. Come holler at me. Other than that, walkthroughs, playthroughs, just streaming shit, just having fun, just another extension of me. You know what I'm saying? When I ain't doing this shit, when I ain't taking care of business, when everything else is done, I'm on the goddamn game. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the Xbox, so holler at Trill Pill Gaming. That on YouTube as well, on Twitch as well, but on YouTube as well. I will share that link on my community page of all the links and all that good shit right there. You know what I'm saying? Fuck with me. Good shit. Let me see. What else? I think that's it. Other than that, man, y'all enjoy y'all Saturday. You know what I'm saying? Y'all make sure, y'all share me out. Make sure you share me to everybody. Auntie, uncle, your cousin, your mother, and your brother. You know what I'm saying? Your goddamn father. And share it to the Holy Ghost as well. You know what I'm saying? Share it to him. listen to this. I would like to see what you're making for lunch. You know, I think it's too many goddamn nuggets being put in the oven. Fuck that shit. Get your ass in the kitchen. Fellas out there, stop gossiping. Stop being a bitch. Never too late to stop being a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to the late, great Chad Lamont Butler, better known as Pimp C. I'm out of here, man. I'm gone, man. Shit. What's to say? Surviving versus living. Make sure you share this out, like, share, subscribe, and do all the other fly shit.
Coming up the block, hitting hard, running over haters when they bow going. Ain't nobody afraid to G. Coming up the block, hitting hard, running over haters when they bow going. I'm in a motherfucking battle mode. Too many of you will watch me take control. Proceed to grab my fucking in and let my shit unload. Attack like vicious cobras with hunchbacks. Don't move a muscle, I strike faster than a fucking match. Got you shaking, done took control of the situation. I'm not Jesus, but I can turn this bitch to a real revelation. Caught you laughing, why you laughing? I came so fast to split you. I guess it's funny when a nigga ain't cookies out to get you. Comprehend, nigga, don't confuse me with no new jack. I'm not the one that works for Nino and stealing more crack instead. I be the pookie quick to snatch your cheese, abbreviated with the mister. Folding switches, still smoking trees. Accompanied by my niggas, they consist of killers. Pull out your gap, pull out my gap, we'll see you strap is bigger. Can't fuck with me, you need to wise up, step up and listen. Jocks up in these streets, better beat their feet, they ain't no competition. Coming up the block, hitting hard, running over haters when they bow going. Ain't nobody afraid to G. Coming up the block, hitting hard, running over haters when they bow going. Wildly hoe ass niggas, they wanna talk about Texas. We doing drive-by, dumping out a brand new Lexus. Don't come and check us cause we country. You know we gon' clown. Really loving orange man, told you hold leg down. Get them frowns off your face, put a smile on your face. Anybody want some funk? We gon' clown in this place. Dallas, Texas is the trace where all them bullets gon' lead. Don't call them motherfuckers just to thinking they G. Red or black, white or blue, it don't make me no difference. Some of my niggas gang bang, but you bangers be tripping. Don't matter if you blood or crippin', nigga duck these shots. Every gangsta in my ride got a 17 Glock. Making bullshit stop. Eat Kentucky cause it's finger licking, but we still killing motherfuckers for them dope chickens. Slip and be brave, nigga. Gauge, I made it bigger. It's packed with a feather trigger. How you gon' live, nigga? Figure you found something in Texas we don't play. Even the Cowboys when safe if they on parade. Nigga, Dallas start a ride in a minute. Whoa. We got a rumble in the jungle in a minute. Whoa. I got a brand new gauge. It came equipped with a blade in it. It ain't been shot yet, but I'm finna play with it. Stay in the Lone Star, Cadillacs and Max, pushing the North Star while Pookie rolled up a sack. Now we off in the act. Everybody be cool. These niggas on some bullshit. K-Rock ready to do. Tools is packed in the toolbox. 2 hands and 2 Glocks, and we ain't leaving till they whole damn crew shot.
Make 'em bounce, bounce with it, nigga, bounce with it. Hey, rock, bounce with it. Yeah, hey, rock, bounce with it. Pookie, bounce with it. Coming up the block, nigga, make 'em bounce with it. Bounce with it, we bounce with it, nigga. Coming up the block, nigga, we bounce with it. Down south, baby. South side in the house, baby. Coming up the block and it won't stop. Yeah. Coming up the block and it won't stop. Shit. All day.
Hollywood. Trillers to the trill, fakers to the fake. These ass niggas in the club trying to play a hate. Trillers to the trill, fakers to the fake. These ass niggas in the club trying to play a hate. Trillers to the trill, fakers to the fake. These ass niggas in the club trying to play a hate. Trillers to the trill, fakers
JD Town Trill, nigga. Polo, fuck that heel figure. Made myself a ghetto star, cause I'm always riding in the foreign car. On the block, flipping word. Candy blue like club, sir. Blade gon' chop on top of dirt. Me and Big drop in the drop smurf. PAT, he right behind. Swerving, swinging, blowing pine. Texas boy still showing spine. If you look at my teeth, then you going blind. If your bitch look once, I take the hoe. Don't trick, no cash, I break the hoe. Had a bitch living good, I make the hoe. Get tired of the bitch, then replace the hoe. Pussy ass nigga, what you hating for? Cause I got big money and I'm making more. Don't know who you got me mistaken for, but the 223's gon' make it know. Fake niggas get disrespected, then body parts get disconnected. Either get ate how we play. I told you niggas this got it sexy. The corn green, the paint wet. Spend 25 racks to ice my neck. Don't mean to show no disrespect, but I gotta live my life correct. JJ is the prince, EGB we running this. RIP to Pimp C, where that shit is. Smoke some bitch.
Fake ass niggas in the club trying to play a hate. Drillers to the trill, fakers to the fake. Fake ass niggas in the club trying to play a hate. Drillers to the trill, fakers to the fake. Fake ass niggas in the club trying to play a hate. Drillers to the trill, fakers to the fake. Fake ass niggas in the club trying to play a hate.
I don't entertain the haters cause I'm truly blessed. I'm a young boss nigga, won't settle for less. Turning crumbs into bricks, I'm a living proof. If you get some fire dope, you can get your coupe. Bust a nigga head open if he play with the money. And I never let a pussy ass take nothing from me. Come hand stepping if you want it, you might get touched. If a nigga let you live, then that's just your luck. Never put it in they face cause it make me feel good. Yeah, I'm on right now, but I'm still in the hood. Boys talking down on me just make me go harder. Take every dime I got and go and put in the order. What? Sleeping on the kid, you get left in the dust. Name some niggas in the city out there fucking with us. In the club 50 deep and we ready to flex. I got niggas riding with me from the south to that west. Versace.
To the trill,